How you guys doing? No one's really in here yet, and I hope the wind's not too much, but my family and I were talking recently about, sorry, there's like an airplane. I don't know if you can hear it, but my family and I were talking recently about the stages people go through. Hi, Timothy. We were talking about the stages people go through when they're awakening. Let me know if you can hear me, because I know it's like a plane and I'm outside, so it could be windy, but if you can't hear me, just let me know. There's the wind. Like I said, my family and I recently were talking about the stages that people go through when they're awakening, or like I like to call it remembering. Hi, DLPTV. And these types of subjects are really touchy for me because I don't really like to share too in depth my spiritual experiences, because I haven't always gotten like good feedback. I just got to work, so I can't watch. Oh, thank you. Have a good day at work. But and you can just check it out later. I'll leave this up. But the stages that people go through when they're remembering or awakening into who they are. And I kind of want to talk to you guys about it. I want to get your input. Like, what do you think about it? If I'm always open to any type of feedback or whatever you guys want to say, or like if you have any experience with these things and you want to let me know about what you've experienced, like we could talk back and forth and we can connect and we can learn and we can grow. That's how we grow as people. Like, I don't have all the answers, neither do you, but together we have all the answers. So I'm just going to talk about the stages of remembering or awakening. So the first stage I like to call the veil, which is when I use a lot of biblical terms because I grew up with the Bible, and but I am open to all truth. But I like to call it the veil, which is this plane is coming by. But that stage is an eye-opening stage. It's when you begin to see what's around you for the truth of what it is, or at least more truth of what it is than what you have before in your old self. And in this stage, I feel like you start to see things more clearly. You start to see. Before this stage, it's very it's very in the world, to be honest. And I'm gonna make this quick, but the second stage of awakening is the trauma stage. And in this stage, you start to realize yourself within the veil, who you were before, and all that has plagued you when you were ignorant, or before you could see, when you were blind. And in this stage, a lot of traumas start to come up. It can cause a lot of depression and lower self-thoughts. And it's a tough stage to go through. And I'm just talking to people who are like remembering who they are and remembering the truth of themselves, so that when you go through these things, as I've gone through these things, like you can have some ease. Hi, thank you. How are you? You can have some ease in knowing that like you're not in it alone, and that you'll make it through, and there's more on the other side. So this is just for certain people, honestly. And I know I put a lot of stuff on here about locks and all those things, but my whole YouTube journey and everything has been about a spiritual awakening. So yeah, the second stage is the trauma stage, I like to call it. And it's tough. It's not easy. But you start to see more, even more. But you start to see a lot of the negative things. I don't really like to say negative, but because everything is for our good. But you start to see who you don't really want to be, and everything that has plagued you. To be around me again. Everything that has plagued you before. The third stage, I like to call the change or the action stage. In this stage, you kind of start to move based on the knowledge that you received in the trauma stage. And this stage can be a little iffy. It can be real iffy because you want to change things and you want to make a difference, but you're still, a lot of the times the trauma hasn't been cleansed, which will happen in the next stage. And if you're not careful, this stage can kind of consume you. You can get consumed by the trauma that you've gone through in your blindness, and it's easy to get stuck there. It's real easy to get stuck there, and you don't want to get stuck there. You don't want to get stuck in thinking about, like, this person did this to me and it's your fault, and if this wouldn't have happened, this wouldn't have happened to me. You want to start to change and evolve and realize all the things that you don't want to be, and switch it into love. You don't want to get stuck in a dense field. You want your field to be light. So each stage you should be lightening and lightening and lightening and lightening and lightening and lightening until you just feel like a feather. But in the change stage, the world perspective is still very heavy due to the trauma that you've realized that you've received over your life because you have been blinded by the veil. If you understand that, if this is making any sense. And if you are blessed enough to get past to the fourth stage, which is the what do I call it? I'll call it the airplane again. I'll call it the, let me let this go by first. But I'll call this next stage, which is a beautiful stage. I'll call it the healing or the cleansing, the washing away of sins stage. In this stage, you start to accept all the trauma that you've received in life, and you start to see that all of it has led you to where you are. And you start to be thankful for even the worst of things that have happened to you in your life. And in this stage, your heart begins to become pure, and hate starts to wash away, fear starts to wash away. You become light within yourself. You begin to have peace. That's why it's very important to get past the trauma phase and the blaming phase. And a lot of people talk about, I'm not even going to talk about what other people talk about, but yeah, if you could get to this phase, you begin to be cleansed, and it's a beautiful, beautiful stage. And I always hear people sometimes, I said I wouldn't say this, but I hear people sometimes talking about, like, all the bad things that have been done to them, and like how, like, they haven't gotten to that forgiveness, and that's because they're still stuck in the phase before this. But if you could overcome it, and if you could walk into love, peace, if you can walk into love, and if you can walk with love, in upright peace and joy and like let all that other stuff go, I'm telling you, it's beautiful. It's beautiful on the other side. You got to let all that trauma go. You got to let all that hatred go. You got to let all that fear go. You got to let it go. You can't let that sit inside your spirit, because when you let that sit inside your spirit, you hinder yourself. You got to get to a point where you can look at everything around you and you can see love. You can see the source of all the creation and everything around you. Because everything, every single thing is happening for your good. I'm telling you. This universe is abundant with joy. This universe is abundant with peace. This universe is abundant with happiness. You just got to overcome in order to receive that happiness. Only the strongest can get here. Only the strongest can look around and see love. I felt high even though I didn't smoke for a few days. The vibration felt as high as ever. Felt so good. Exactly. You got to get to a point where, like, you look at a tree and you smile. It's good to see you too. It's good to see you too. Well, hear from you. I can't really see you right now, but I see you though. If you get it, I can't see you, but I see you. But yeah, and once you are cleansed, once you are washed, once your sins are washed away, all the things that you have done before, all the negative that has overcome you before to get you to where you are now in your strength, after that cleansing has happened, then you are pure enough to be love. So the next stage is love. The next stage in your remembering or your awakening is love. Let me let this plane go by. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I'm gonna let it go by just in case. Yeah, the next stage is love. And this is a stage where you see the energy in all of creation. In all of creation, like, it's a dog back there. I love dogs, but I'm just trying to make sure. You see the energy in all of creation. So like, you'll look at someone who has done you wrong and you will be thankful. You'll be happy because you know that happening to you through them has made you who you are today and who you are in love. And let this plane go by too. Sorry guys. I want everyone to get to the highest point of their remembrance. I don't want them to get stuck in hatred or fear or all the things that aren't the fruit of the spirit. How can I get to where I don't have to waste my life force working a 9 to 5? I mean, that's hard for me to say. Your energy and your vibration will get you to where you are, to where you need to be. And you have to believe in yourself, and you have to believe that you have to be able to see the future that you desire, and you have to be able to see the feeling of that future that you desire, and you have to be able to feel it every day. You can't just go into something. It's really hard for me because I don't really want to be a teacher. I just want to share experiences. But you got to feel it. You got to feel the feeling that you want to feel in your purest, most loving situation every day. And if you can't feel it now, then it's going to be hard to get there. But and if you don't really want to work a 9 to 5, then you can't feel like you're working a 9 to 5 in your day-to-day basis. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I kind of got off track saying that, so I'm gonna get back to it. But where was I? No, it's okay. It's good. But I was at the stage of what love? Yeah. Walking in pure love and being pure love. That's stage 5. And And that's where you see the energy of love all around you. And love is the highest form. Trust me, love is the highest form. If you could see love, love is the highest form. And once you get to that love, then the next stage is truth, because you have a pure heart and you are love, you are able to see truth. You are able to be given truth. And I mean real truth. I don't mean partial truth. I don't mean like just looking on the internet and being able to like find something here. I mean, when you step outside and you plant your feet in the soil, you can feel the earth. You know where to go, or you feel where to go. It's always a little iffy, but I'm still working on this stage myself, so it's hard for me to give like a fullness of it. So I'm not even going to try. I'm just going to say this stage is truth. And then the final stage of remembering or awakening is righteousness. So once you are given truth, you are set free, and therefore you are able to walk in that freeness, in that righteousness, in that oneness. And this is what most people like to call like the Christ. This is we call it righteousness. That's what I like to call it. And this isn't trying. Not trying to make a long video. I was just talking about this stuff with my family, and I was talking about how a lot of people get stuck in the stage of awakening, because a lot of people think that like you awaken and then you're just awakened, like your eyes start to become open and you just awakened, and like now you're enlightened all of a sudden. And it doesn't happen like that. It happens gradually, and it happens in stages, and it's tough and it's hard, and you got to go through like the shadow phases, and you got to go through like the trauma, and you got to go through like washing everything away. And it's not easy. Like, there are steps, but you gotta keep moving in love, so that you can receive truth, and so that you can become righteous, and so that you can become one, because we are one. We are all one. There is no separation. We are all one. The tree over there is one with me. The white guy over there is one with me. I know that sounds weird to some people, but whatever. The clouds over there are one with me. The airplane that's flying over top of me is one with me. I am one with everything around me, and the trees agree. It's yeah, I'm gonna settle myself, but I'm just ready to step into that oneness, and I want to kind of share with you all just my experiences and the stages that I've gone through. And if you are remembering yourself like I am remembering myself and awakening into who I am, and yeah, then let me know how you feel. Let me know what you've been going through. Let me know like how your process has been, because you're not alone. You really aren't. There are like tons of people who are fighting to become whole right now, and there are a lot of forces trying to stop it, but there are a lot of us who are trying to step out of the confinements of our denser self, our, some people call lower self, our old self. But for most people, that's already been washed away, and the veil has already been revealed, and now they're just going through the steps. And I'm just saying all this so that if you're going through these steps, or you're going through like those dark phases or those trauma phases, that you know that you got to walk towards love, and you got to walk towards your heart feeling light. I have so much pain and heartache. I mean, it happens. But don't speak negativity over yourself. Tell yourself you're not getting knocked down. Tell yourself you're standing up. And it may not feel like you're standing up right now, but you will. You will. You really will. Tell yourself every day, get up early with the sun. Look in the mirror and tell yourself, I am not getting knocked down today. And mean it. Eventually, those things that knocked you down before, they'll come again, and they won't affect you the same way they affected you before. And when they stop affecting you, that's when you've passed the test and you're able to go to the next phase. Because you got to be strong to get through this. I'm 40 and it's been a repetitive process, getting tired of fighting sometimes. I get it. I hear you. I hear you. And I don't know exactly what you're going through. And I'm not trying to tell you what to do or how to do it, but I believe in you. I believe you can get through it. I believe you're strong enough. I believe that what you've been through has a purpose. And I'm praying for you, if that makes you feel any better, but I'm not saying it will, but I am. I'm rooting for you at this very moment. Yeah, you got to do that too. You got to get living foods in your body. You got to step your feet on the ground. I don't smoke cigarettes, weed, or drink alcohol. That's good for you. It really is. I remember when I was young. No problem. No problem. We all have our moments, and we're all going through this together. Like,